getting ready for 2025 with your marketing. And there's going to be a variety of things happening throughout. For the next slide, this gives you an idea of what my Lunch and Learn sessions are like. First of all, those who have been on other sessions like Deb and Karen, it's very interactive. So get familiar with the raise your hand or leave questions in the chat portion of Zoom so that we can answer the questions when we get to the Q&A. Share. One of the things is that I'm a lifelong learner of what we do. So I share what I learn as well as what I know, especially like today's is about trends. Well, obviously, I had to take the time to watch several videos of influencers for me that shared what's going to happen in 2025.
Oh,
So if you know
yeah.
anything of it, we have somebody who's speaking.
We don't have anywhere to sit for lunch. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Please mute. Okay. Oops. So I want you to leave today with one nugget of information. And I know you're going to find that there are going to be several nuggets of information from it. So my idea is that you apply one idea today before you move forward. I will be using a few marketing terms, but we'll describe them so that you feel comfortable with not feeling, I don't want this to be too geeky. So if there's anything I say like SERP, S-E-R-P, I'll be explaining what that is. I am going to be using ChatGPT on this as well as sharing a few ways in which to use it. Today's session will be recorded. Unlike other sessions that I did this whole year, I did not record them because I use clients' examples and I want to respect their privacy. What I've done this time is I've made sure that what I'm sharing with you is coming from my information, from my accounts on like Constant Contact and my chat and things of that nature. Moving on, today we're going to explore a couple of trends that are happening. These are just two of them. There are a couple more, but I felt these are ones that you have the ability to control and use. And fortunately, many of the email management programs, like in my case, Constant Contact is one that I've been using for probably 10, 15 years, has really brought along with it very many of the tools that are needed for moving forward into 2025. So I'll be concentrating on email marketing for that. And then the next one is going to be learn how to optimize your online presence for zero-click search. Seems that is a new term that has come out, and Google is doing a great job of if you optimize for certain things on your website, the zero-click search will have you show up, especially when it's local, you being local. And then we're going to develop a month-by-month marketing strategy for success. That's where ChatGPT comes in. So what we're going to look at is the AI-driven personalization in email marketing. What I send out to you with your name on that email is easily created using Constant Contact or others that you can use is Active Campaign. There's several different email tools you can use. So the personalized subject lines are important. Optimizing when to send it, and the send time, you might not know what it is, but as you send out emails, you're going to start to see a certain time frame that platforms like Constant Contact will provide you. A/B testing is another really cool tool in how it helps you get high open rates. Content optimization and segmentation. So I'm going to hop over into Constant Contact. Yes, I'm still working. And one of them is, I want to show you the details of one that I sent out when we did effective email marketing as one of our lunch and learns. And this is the detail of, oh, what did it do? Oh, I got to log in. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Now I know this is, hang on a minute while I find it. You're going to see I use a lot. Let me see. I want my 30. So we're going to scroll through this. A lot going on in my emails. Effective email marketing. I want to get to show you the A/B testing that we did here. So this was, I believe, let me see. There's one in here that had A/B testing. Okay. See, and you see it here. And this is the name of the email that was sent out. It shows you when it was sent out. It shows you the sends. It shows you how many opens. In fact, let me click on it so you can see it in a larger version. So this is how many was sent to. And it will actually, in the results, provide me with a list of who I send it to. My open rate, and 36.3% open rates is very high. Normally, and Constant Contact does provide me with a little bit more details about the open rates. From here, what I did was I did an A/B test because I wanted to find out what subject line. It's about the subject line, folks. Really is. So I put two subject lines in, and I had it go for about 6 hours. So my email goes out to 20% of my 1,400 people, okay? It goes 20% here on the Unlock the Power, and then the other another 20% build a powerful email pipeline. So it was sent to 291, 89 opened it, there were 11 clicks. And then this one was sent out the same time, and it was 291, 97 clicks. So what Constant Contact did, they said to the rest of, which would have been 60%, to the rest of the group, we are going to send out, build a powerful email pipeline. It sent to 875, 316 opens. Why even care about doing A/B testing? The reason you want to do A/B testing is for this, 36.3%. You want that open. And then from there, nice thing is they're able to provide me with additional information about how people have responded to it. Okay. So important to do A/B testing. Also, let me go back to my marketing because I've started an email to send to you, all of you, with the follow-up to this. So all the slides and this video will be sent to you. What I've done here is I've included the ability, and I'll just show you where we do it here. We are able to personalize based on first name, last name, email, whatever we want to personalize in it. So I could personalize for your first name. I could personalize for your company name elsewhere in it. Like, in other words, if I were to, I'll pick on Rich here, Rich, thank you for coming to today's session. I could put behind that, I hope it helps, and then your company name behind that. What's really cool about it is you'll notice that I have first name or, and then it has quotes. The idea is that it will give you an alternative, say you don't have the first name for the individual. Well, the nice thing with Zoom, when you registered through Zoom, it provided me with the ability to collect more information from you. So I make sure to very easily add your first name, last name. I could put the company name in. Most times I just do first name, last name, and email, because with Zoom, I can go back and look for any other information. And some people, when on a session, may not be business owners or and just coming on. So there's different ways you can use it. That's the most important portion is this. That's your subject. Well, I'm sorry. This is your subject line. The pre-header is provided by Constant Contact. Not all of email management systems do pre-headers. What it is something that shows up when you're on your cell phone and you see the subject line, then you see a little bitty blurb underneath that. Here is where you're just putting more information so that a person can make a decision whether to open it up right away or whether to open up later. So just the cool things. And then here I can continue to personalize throughout this as well. So that gives you just an idea of that. Okay. Are there any questions about personalizing and A/B testing? Because I'll get back into where we are. So personalizing, optimizing, and so on. So the zero-click searches. Yes. Do I hear somebody? A question?
I was going to ask, I have a question. This is specific to Constant Contact, but I'm assuming other platforms have this ability?
Yes. And in fact, one of the gentlemen that I follow, Neil Patel, he provided because it's too much jumping around here. He provided recent, I'm not sure if it was just a blog on the 10 best email marketing software platforms. And the ones that he chose were OmniSend, OMNISEND, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Drip, Stripe, OptinMonster, WorldPond, Brevo, GetResponse, and ConvertKit. Now, when I was reading OmniSend and looking at what they talked about with that, it's exactly what Constant Contact provides. And it probably Constant Contact just didn't make their radar for whatever reason, because Constant Contact provides not only email, but also SMS. And it's probably because Constant Contact's a little more expensive than OmniSend. So check one of those out. I'll make sure to include the blog and the link directly to Neil Patel's blog that he has about the 10 best to choose. But you should really be using an email software for if you're going to send out to bulk. And you could
Yeah,
start.
we use MailChimp.
Yeah. Now, does MailChimp, because of all their free features, I'm not sure that they do as much as, can you share whether they have the A/B testing with that?
I know there's some of those features. I don't know
Yeah.
that we've used like the automated or AI stuff yet. So
Yeah. There are certain levels with Constant Contact where you can do, one of the features I love is that I can send out to everyone, and then I can send to unopens like a later time and have a totally different subject line. So I can treat it like A/B testing. A/B testing doesn't allow send later because really it's automated as part of that scenario. But what it is, if you don't do A/B testing, you can still do the send later feature to those who haven't opened it. So that gives you some ideas.
thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on the email and the personalization and all of that good stuff? Okay.
Actually, there was one on Karen Schifford had asked one in the chat about what
Okay.
happens to bounced email.
Bounce emails is a variety of email settings you want to pay attention to bounce emails in a sense that some are vacation, mailbox full, others are undeliverable because the email address is wrong. Others are suspend with Constant Contact because one of the things that Constant Contact is very attuned to is they watch as to how people respond to our emails. So they may put people into what they call suspension because we have sent maybe 5 emails out to this individual and haven't opened one of those emails. So why pay for somebody who isn't going to want to receive your emails? Because by that time, they've said, we're putting them on a suspension. Doesn't mean you need to eliminate them from that bounce list, but it allows you to sort through them. So, because most of the email marketing systems are set up that you pay them based on the amount of email addresses you have. So it's important to not waste your hard-earned money too. So, okay. Any other questions? Thank you for that. Letting me know. All right. So we'll get back into, do you see the 0-click searches? Do you see that? Maybe not. Hang on a minute. Share my screen here. Okay. So what is 0-click search? What is happening with Google is they are providing more ways in which people can respond or take action right on the searches themselves rather than having to click and go to a website and find out that, yes, the information there is what you want to learn about, or no, it's not where you want to go. So some of the examples that are here, whoops. Wow, okay. Let me see if you can see it. Is that if a person has asked how many kilometers in 1 mile, from here, it provides a way in which a person can interact with Google right here, rather than going to a website, which was the old Google, going to a website and finding out about that. So that is one of the examples. The other is when it's the next full moon, it gives the answer right away. Okay. So with those, the next one is one that, come on, it's being ornery. The next one is one that you can do. This is a 0-click search where you can have the featured snippet on your website. And that's what it's called. It is one of the previous, and I mentioned that I'm going to be using some of the tools I used on previous sessions. One of the previous sessions that I did was, see about getting this down so that you can see. Ways to optimize. I created a blog that talks about how to optimize your website for SEO and AEO. AEO is answer engine optimization. And answer engine optimization is optimizing your website for being found on AI searches. Okay, so it has a name. And you want to use featured snippets. And I'm going to show you a couple of websites where we have started to change their previous blogs we wrote, and now we have updated them to optimize them for SEO and AEO. And I'll tell you what, the gentleman that I'm going to show you, his website is probably one of the most technical when it comes to what we do for him. And the results he is getting are like over the top when we go back and we look at his Google Analytics on these. So you want to do featured snippets. This is an easy add-on. You want to format your content for quick answers, use bullet points and numbering lists, and have a question and answer style heading. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Carl Environmental Group. He does services like OSHA and going in and doing blog and lead remediation and things like that. And this is one of the blogs that he had that we have updated. In fact, it was October 15th of this year, and we made the change. It starts off with a question. So your blogs, if they're statements, make them questions, okay? Make them questions. You can take it and you can say to chat, I need ideas for how to say this statement as a question that will be engaging and create curiosity about whatever we're talking about. And then from there, this is what happened. So we updated, and in this, it provides the answer to this portion of it. We added more questions throughout. We added photos, and behind the photos, we have also included keyword phrases that can be found for that. We also, in it, had it be that he, Ed Carl, the president of Carl Environmental Services, was quoted throughout the blog, so that he is seen as an authority on the mercury toxins, as well as a trusted individual to reach out to. It used bullet points and also 1, 2, 3 lists. Another thing we did is if you use perplexity.ai and you put in this, are hidden mercury toxins lurking in your school's gym floors? It will then give you information, but it will provide you with additional questions about the subject. Take advantage of those additional questions and share them at the end of your blog so that it has enough Q&A that's part of it. Okay, another feature is if you don't have an FAQ section on your website, do it now. Start it today. Even if all you do is you either, if you're working with a website developer, say, I want a Q&A section. I'm going to start to give you questions that a person might ask about my website or my business, and get them to just add that to it. Okay. Target on the people also ask questions, which is what we did on his. These are the additional questions. So that this, if you go to the SEO AO blog, it's on our website. Did I have it here? Yes, here it is. And it explains how to create your website so that it's healthy and works well on search engine optimization for Google and Yahoo. But it also will work very well on chat search and Perplexity. I mean, Perplexity is like Google on steroids. If you haven't looked at it, you want to look at it. So, additional ways, and this is a metadata is a web developer term for additional descriptions that are behind the scenes on your website. So on here, we see this as humans, but there is small snippets of data that we also have on the back end, so that when Google's little robots come along and grab things, they can grab just, this is pretty long for them to read. Not really. But the little snippet is like gold to them because they don't have to grab all the information that's on there. So you want to do that. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. Incorporate visuals. Make sure if you love to do videos, got Johnny on here for that. Definitely use those. Adding images and diagrams like we did for the one for Carl Environmental. Leverage local. If you happen to be able to service people in your local area, you want to definitely have your Google My Business page, which is your mapping page. When people do a search and they find you on that right-hand side in the search, that's called Google My Business. And you want to definitely, if you're not on Google mapping, they call it Google My Business mapping, you want to definitely do that. If you are on Google Mapping and you haven't claimed the page, it has a little blurb there that says, are you the owner? And you just click on it, and then you're able to go through a process of owning the page. So if somebody owns it, you want to find out who they are too. So. Oh, and I have QR codes throughout, but like I said, I'll be giving you these slides as well. So the benefits of the zero-click search optimization is that it increases visibility. The SERP is search engine result pages. So when you do a search of something, the page that Google delivers to you is the technical term, the geeky term is SERP for us, or we call them SERPs. We put an S behind that, and we're SERPs, is search engine result page. It builds trust. So when a person, like in Carl Environmental Group's situation, if somebody does a kind of a search of, is there anything in gym floors in schools? He will come up because of the fact that that is part of that blog that we have for him. And it also boosts traffic. Traffic indirectly. So from that, because your name will be part, or your website will be part of those zero search clicks. If you're part of that, people can, from that, go directly to your website from there too. So those are the two I'm going to talk about. There are other things that are trending for 2025. These are two, the email marketing and the zero click are two that I felt were really spot on with being able to do certain things with it for you. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, I'm going to close a few things up here because I want to make sure that I am not overwhelmed by the next part. Okay. So we're going to go in to developing a month-by-month marketing strategy for success. And I've got my buddy here, Darren Hardy, who was part of my process in creating the next piece of it. And the two links I have here, one is the Living Your Best Year Ever. And this is a book that is a personal achievement program that Darren Hardy has created. And it has a variety of, the first part of it is something where you need a couple of days to go through it because you're working on really thinking through what you want your year to look like. But the second half of it, after you have all of that done, is sort of the planning on a weekly basis. And along with it, it has the daily activities you're going to do to make all of this on the, I guess it would be the left side of you, right side of you, where you're going to pick 3 goals, and he calls it the Devil's Vortex in it. And it is a way in which to keep top of mind the goals that you want to achieve. So with that said, that is one of them, but he also does another, which is the Sunday planning system. And I know there's Darren Hardy enthusiasts on the call. And this one, I would suggest that you go in to this, because the Sunday planning system is something where you are given from him a one sheet PDF that you can print off, and it pretty much is this page that he has you work on. So you don't need the Living Your Best Year Ever book, but the going with the Sunday planning system gets you to get familiar with using some sort of a system on a weekly basis to keep track of what's productive and what should go in the devil's vortex, which is the unproductive things. So I wanted to share those with you. Now, let's look. I want to just take these away. Okay. Oh, there we go. So let's look at how to easily create a month-by-month marketing strategy for success, as well as taking it down to daily activities to do. So we're going to go to ChatGPT. And this is the first thing you're going to want to do. If you don't know who you're marketing to, you want to find out through using ChatGPT as your assistant. This is an assistant. And Erin will tell you, I say, this is a tool. It's not going to, blow up your brain or anything like that. It's a tool. It's a tool. So this is the first thing I said to it. You are an expert brand strategist who is incredibly adept in defining a target market avatar for my business. And it's the website. I gave it the website as well, and my LinkedIn page as well. And then I say to it, when you have reviewed the information, please ask me any questions you might have to help with creating our ideal avatar. Now I'm going to jump to that on ChatGPT. Whoop, got to go back to the beginning. Okay. Exactly what I shared with you there is what I have here. Chat then based it on my website, but also discovered that my information on Interlaced Communications is also in the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce website. If I go to there, here is my information. If you belong to chambers and they have membership directories, don't ignore them. Because if you noticed, the chamber brought up my website, my information, along with any search that I did. From here, it gave me all these questions to answer. Okay? All right. It also tells me your insights in these aspects will be instrumental in crafting a precise and effective target market avatar for Interlaced Communications. So let me go back to here. And I want to take you. So what it did, I took all of that information and I have it in here. My next step is I answered the questions presented to get a comprehensive, more comprehensive results. The more detailed you are with chat, the better the results. In other words, junk in, junk out. The less you give it to help you, the more generalized the answers are going to be for you. You're going to get this. information. I have it in a document for you to use. So this is important. You must include this sentence at the end of the answers to provide chat to control the results. And this is what you're going to add. Just this. Do not provide additional details. So I'll take you back to chat. So these are my answers. And then here is where I tell it, don't tell me the next steps. I want to, from here, control it. So it answers. Thank you for the detailed insights. I will wait for your next instructions, blah, blah, blah. Now, we are going to, because we're still in control, I have this in a, like I said, in a document for you. You're going to give it this information. So now look at all the questions below. And it's all about demographic, psychographics, dreams, goals, desires, and aspirations. And it answers me. It gives my target market avatar, I'm hoping you guys can see this, a unisex name because I wanted to be, I asked for both genders. So Jordan Taylor can be a male or female. It gives me all the demographics of it, their income, their marital status, their psychographics, down to social media groups, publications, associations, brands, experts they follow. I'm not in there. Software tools, and the religions and events they attend. Then it goes into the dreams, goals, desires, and aspirations, the pains and frustrations. And I'm going to say this. On my Q&A, when you were in Zoom and you went in and answered the question, what is the number one problem you're having with marketing? I looked at this, and lack of time was like off the charts. You know, I'm reading through this and I'm going, yeah. So all of what you have in frustrations and needs are part of this. So I know that what chat gave me, from what it learned about me and knows about my ideal avatar, it provided the right directions. So then it gave a full description of my avatar in detail, what a day-to-day would look like for them. Okay. And now I got my answers there. So we now know what our avatar is. Okay. I'll just pop from in here. So that's like the beginning part of my avatar. Now, the next part is we are here to decide what we want to do as far as goals for the month. Okay. First of all, from looking at your ideal avatar, you could actually go into chat and do a piece before this and say, what should be my goals to help my ideal avatars? I didn't do that because I have the goals that I want for this, okay? So, whoops. I should stay away from my, okay. So, with that said, now I'm going to tell it, now we're going to focus on the annual goals for us, okay? And the 7 goals that we have is the overall revenue, expand local client base. What has happened with my business here, up until a month ago, I was online marketing only. My past experience also had me involved with commercial printing, okay? And I was given the opportunity to support my ex-husband in continuing the commercial printing part of his company. And we are running that along with our online marketing. So we're integrating print and digital efforts together, but really thinking about that expansion of the local client base. Because I'm well known in areas surrounding Berkston Schuylkill, but not as involved with Berkston Schuylkill because I respected his space in that while his business was running. So I need to create a better local client base. So from here, I have my 7 strengths. I'm sorry, my 7 goals. All right. And then it provided me with my month-to-month marketing timeline. I asked for the timeline, what I should be doing each month. Okay. And I'll scroll through this quickly because my timeline is not going to be your timeline. From here, I then, it gave a summary. And then I said, these are excellent. But then I said to it, my employees include, I wanted to know what the daily was. So from here, I included all the information of my employees and asked for it to use the Living Your Best Year Ever achievement program as part of the next step of it. And from here, it has my goals again. But what's really cool about this is it gives me my daily tasks. So if routinely we do these daily tasks, so it looks at sales, it looks at Google Ads, training and such, but it will match it up to my goal that's up here. So it matched everything for me. Then it matched it to Vicky, who is responsible for finances and HR. And it did that for her. And then Annie, who is my website mechanic, that's what she calls herself. And from there, that information. And then Erin, who is on and included the information for that. And then George works with us as an advisor, and his responsibilities are supporting us on the printing. Like there's certain jobs I might not know how to do, but he also is delivering jobs for us, and he's there to support us. So it gives him the idea of what's going to be happening, graphic designing for Casey, and then how we should track. And I can do it through the Sunday planning system, or we can do the Living Your Best Year Ever. So that is how I went from knowing my ideal avatar and now matching up what we're doing on a daily basis, not just monthly, but daily basis using ChatGPT. And what I did was there is a QR code that is right here that will take you right to what I just showed you. So, any questions?